Hey everyone, it's Types, and the Pokemon TCG has a ton of cards in it, and there's some that are super interesting. In fact, tons of cards are really cool. I love messing around with different stuff, and I know lots of people like playing with different cards. But unfortunately, a lot of the cards are kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty bad. And today we're gonna be going over the 5 worst cards in Standard. So I need to talk about criteria a little bit first. These aren't. I'm not really counting random previous evolutions like this Apom is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, it evolves into Ambipom. And then in terms of Pokemon, a lot of them are kind of generic and not very good. I don't really have those on this list. Like this Absol is a final evolution. It's certainly not a good card that anyone would really play. Well, funnily enough, this card actually is played in Build and Battle, but in Standard, you're not going to be playing this card, and it's not like substantially worse than other cards, though. In fact, this one's actually not that bad, to be honest, but there are a lot of cards like this that are just not very good, but they're really hard to differentiate. So a card to be on this list needs to be bad in a special way that makes it particularly bad. And also, there are some EX as well, kind of the same deal as with the single prizers that are just like not very good, like this Amoonguss EX, just very filler. So cards that are just truly filler aren't going to be on this list. But if you have any cards that you think stand out, like if there's a card that's filler but somehow like a lot worse than all the other cards, then maybe that card belongs on this list. But tell me that in the comment section, and if you disagree with any of these as well, if you have like secret use cases of them, because they are pretty bad, all of them. But there are some use cases. But let's just hop right into the video before we hop in there, make sure you subscribe and like and that all that good stuff. But the first card here is not Zoroark. Zoroark is bad. I don't like this card, but it's not that bad. But the first card here is Anthea and Concordia. I have played with I haven't played with this card. I've played against it a little. I've seen people use it. I've seen people call this card broken. Usually people who don't play the Pokemon TCG though. So from people who actually play the game, it's really bad. Because well, the good part is really good. It's a supporter card, and I will say this is, I guess, the best of the cards in this list. It's not really played because again, you'll see, but what it can do is during this turn, if your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your end's Pokemon, take 3 more prize cards. That is really good. Taking 3 extra prize cards is obviously really good. Taking 1 extra prize card is really good. You look at like Briar. I guess Briar's not crazy good. It's a solid supporter, certainly. And has been quite good at times. And when you play it, it is, taking extra prize is really nice. It's just a little specific there. This is a lot more specific, though. It does need to be taking a knockout with an Ends Pokemon. That's not super hard to do. But then you can only use this card if you have Ends Darmanitan, Ends Zoroark EX, Ends Spinaluxe, Ends Klinklang, Ends Reshiram, and Ends Zekrom in play. And yeah, that's 6 different cards, which is presumably your full bench. Theoretically, you could have Aerzeo Under Depths, which none of these are Terra, so you need another Terra. Then you could have some wiggle room, but realistically, that's not. Don't do that. Probably don't play this card, but it is funny. I will say this card is definitely the coolest of the cards on this list. Most of the other ones are just kind of bad and not interesting, but this card is funny when you pull it off, and you need to have all these different Pokemon in play. If you didn't know, there's 2 basics, 2 stage 1s, and 2 stage 2s. Theoretically, you put this as an option within the End Zoroark EX deck. That being said, with End Zoroark EX, you're trying to fill your board with End Zoroark EXs. Fill your board, you're looking for at least 2, probably like 3, maybe 4. You want to draw cards, right? You're not looking to just play 1. So it doesn't work super well there. Then you look at the Pokemon. Ends Zekrom and Ends Reshiram are both pretty good. Ends Darmanitan is pretty good as well, I suppose. Sometimes see it as a 1/1 line in Ends Zoroark, which is exactly what you're looking for here. Then obviously in Zoroark EX you want to play there. Ends Vanillux, that line's actually a little interesting. The stage 1 as well as the stage 2 there are somewhat interesting. Not something you're normally looking to play, but I do know some people who play it within their deck. It has some cool stuff you can do. The issue is the synergy there isn't like super good, and by itself, Ends Vanillux isn't very good. And Ends Klinklang. Ends Klinklang is pretty terrible. It's a coin flip attack. I know someone, as I said, who played with this some and used Ends Klinklang some. It is cool, but again, it is coin flip based and super sketchy there and pretty terrible. So you're running these Pokemon that are kind of meh. Some of them are pretty good, and the Unstack's decent, but also can struggle some with some consistency stuff. And then you need like all these Pokemon in play, including much of stage 2s. See what rare candy or don't rare candy. Either one's clunky. If you are rare candy, you're running more pieces, you need things in the right order. And then if you're not rare candy, it's super slow. Even if you are rare candying, your opponent can see this coming from a mile away. Even if you do play this, It's so many resources you're committing to it. You don't just win the game by doing this. I mean, you could knock out a 3 prizer and take 3 more prizes and then just win. But presumably that's not happening. I mean, the deck doesn't even take one shots really, so that's probably not happening. Most decks aren't running, or I mean, some decks are running 3 prizers. I actually don't know what percentage of decks are running 3 prizers, but like half the decks are pull, and that's not really. So, at the end, Concordia. Also, by the way, like a kind of awkward name to say in my opinion, a little long there, but this if you're not taking the 6 prizes, because people talk about it like, oh wow, you just like win the game. You play this card, you win the game, which isn't true. Again, you also don't take a knockout, which is doable with ends, specifically with ends Zekrom. You can take a knockout on like a 2 prizer pretty easily for 5 prizes. You still need to take another knockout. Again, it's like kind of doable. This card is kind of playable. I mean, like if you use it, it can be cool. I don't know. I mean, the card, it's just so many hoops you need to jump through. It's 6 of them. You can count the 6 hoops you need to jump through. I guess, and also take the knockout. So it's bad. I mean, everyone kind of knows this card is bad. Everyone kind of wants this card to be kind of good as well. It is really fun. It's a really silly, stupid card. The rest of the cards in this list are going to be stupid, but not silly. They're just bad. This is yesterday. I think I made like a video on like the worst mechanics. Those were mechanics that were not fun and problematic. These cards are just weak. This card is quite weak. Again, the best of these cards, but it isn't very good. We have the next card here. This, by the way, is in order, I guess. It's not like super in order, but it is kind of in order here. We get Caretaker. By the way, order from best to worst. Caretaker here is another supporter. You draw 2, and draw 3 on a supporter isn't good. People don't play that. Draw 3 is a little, I guess, underrated, maybe? I don't know, but it's certainly not that good. It's not good. There are other cards that are draw 3 with some benefit, like is there a draw 3 in standard? Let me see. I should have done this before, but is there a draw 3 in standard with upside? No. Not in standard though. There are draw 3s supporters with upside. I'm sorting by name, which is not what I meant to do. You look at Rhyme is draw 3 with upside. Miriam is draw 3 with upside. Worker did see play, that's draw 3 with upside. Choi is also draw 3 with upside. Avery is draw 3 with upside. Birdkeeper is kind of draw 3 with upside. So you look at those cards, those are draw 3 with upside, and some of those saw play. None of them were very good. I don't think the best is I guess the best is Avery. I don't like Avery. I think that card's pretty terrible. But yeah, draw 3 with upside sometimes sees play. Draw 3 without upside. Also, you see something like Professor's Vitality and Welder, which is kind of draw 3 with upside, or Melody as well. These cards are kind of draw 3 with upside, but the upside's like the bigger deal than the draw 3. And so those cards are fine. Or I guess Melody, both are important. But those cards have a lot of upside. And then you look at like Urbane, which is in standard, or like Charon or whatever. These cards are draw 3. No one plays them really. Apparently someone played it. It seems pretty bad, because like obviously draw 3 just seems pretty trash. So it's not really something you're going to be playing there. But it is something you see people underrated. Caretakers draw 2. Then there's some more text though, so there's some upside to make up for the fact that it's draw 2. We sometimes see draw 2 with upside as well. Draw 2 with upside doesn't really see play. We saw Professor Kukui a while ago see play. I'm trying to think of other ones, and they're mostly bad. But the upside of this card is if you drew any cards in this way, and if Community Center is in play, you shuffle this Caretaker into your deck instead of discarding it, which isn't actually an upside because this card's not good, so you don't want to draw it more. Like, I suppose, I played this card when I played Bill in Battle, and it was okay, I guess. It's not good, though. I mean, like, you don't, like, draw 2 is not good, and you don't want more of the draw 2 supporter. Community Center, by the way, is like a healing stadium. It's okay. This card's funny. Uncommon Fossil will probably be mad if I didn't mention this. You compare it with the in expanded now at this point. You compare it with the Claydol, which only works if you don't have a supporter in the discard. Then you can play supporters in your deck, and then you don't have them in the discard, which is like really funny. It's not good. The Claydol, it's quite bad, but it is really funny there. Like Caretaker is funny. As the Community Center is actually like decent. If you play a supporter, heal 10 from each of your Pokemon. Decent stadium. We see it apparently in Crustal some. Yeah, I guess I've seen that, and I played with it and it gets it some. So that's like all right. Healing 10 for each of your Pokemon is okay. Speaking of, we'll talk about the next card here, Celebratory Fanfare, which says once during each player's turn, that player can heal 10 from each of their Pokemon. So, this card initially seems pretty decent. And then you realize that it ends your turn when you do this. So it's actually really bad. I will say This card is actually super sick because it features, and if we look at the Japanese versions here, popular meta Pokemon. It is really cool. We see like this one here. We got Goldango. We got Ogerpon, Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Cinccino. Just some really cool Pokemon. We got in standard right now. We got like Dracloak and Badoo and Lily's Clefairy EX and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun in that regard. I actually made a video on that a while ago, and I'm sure I'll make probably another one when the next one comes out. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But ultimately, this card, I mean, like it heals a little bit, which is okay, I guess, and then it ends your turn, which is not so okay. This card is really terrible, unfortunately. Yeah, it is very expensive as well. It's like a special promo card. It's like a Worlds promo type of thing. So, it's like $700. The other Worlds promo with the Psyduck Stadium isn't here. I probably could have put that here. It actually has seen technically some play. The last card we'll talk about in this video actually has seen some play as well. But as you'll see in current standard, it's not really usable. But the Celebratory Fanfare is, yeah, I mean, ending your turn and doing not very much is pretty bad. This is not really something that could ever be good unless you're, for some reason, using a deck where you're using an ability in the active, like that stops them from like doing something, maybe like Fluttering, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. Those things don't really exist too much in standard right now. Previously, we had Snorlax with the ability Block a while ago, but if you have an ability that you just leave in the active and then you don't attack and don't use an ability that ends your turn, then you can end your turn using this instead. It's again though pretty bad. The upside just isn't that good, and the downside is really bad. So just don't use this card. Then we have the next card here. I suppose I will say this could be a neutral stadium bump that like doesn't do anything. That's a stadium bump, which is a use case, I guess. But why don't you just use a stadium that's like kind of okay for you? And yeah, this card's pretty bad. Then we have the next card though, which is Technical Machine Fluorite. This is the second worst card in the game. It's a tool card and a technical machine. It is actually the only technical machine in standard. Previously we had 6 that were all in. Most of them were in Paradox Rift. One was in Paldean Face, I believe. And they are tools that say the Pokemon this card is attached to can use the attack of this card. And then it says you still need the necessary energy to use it. And at the end of your turn, if it's attached, you discard it. So this card here has the attack Fluorite. Gives the Pokemon it's attached to the ability to use this attack. And what this attack does for Grass, Water, Psychic, which by the way, that's like super expensive, right? That's not really payable much at all. It kind of sort of is. I mean, you can get 300 on a Pokemon in standard with like Teomas Ogerpon EX. I mean, you could just Teomas Ogerpon EX plus Crispin and use this. But what's the effect of the attack here, right? You discard all the energy from it. So that's essentially another part of the cost, which is certainly not a good start to this. And you heal all damage from each of your Terra Pokemon. Healing damage from Pokemon on attacks is generally not good. It can be okay at times, but it's not that good. And as like a secondary benefit, it can be okay. Theoretically, you can do some cool stuff. You can loop it and it's cheap. Maybe you saw Stonjourner VMAX be okay by kind of repeatedly healing, but it wasn't that good. It was, I'm not gonna lie, mostly annoying. But Team Flora here is able to, heal, but like, why are you just healing your Terra Pokemon? It can heal a bunch of Pokemon, but attacks that heal a bunch of Pokemon are essentially like not useful because you're probably not going to end up with a bunch of damage on a bunch of your Pokemon. And then, obviously when you attack, you end your turn. So the effect isn't that good. It's super expensive, and you can only use it once because then you lose both all the energy and the tool. So it's like super terrible. I don't know if anyone knows, why is this card like, why did we get a TM later? I mean, I know it's like supposed to be stellar stuff, but why did we get a TM later than all the other TMs that didn't rotate? It's super weird. This card's super terrible. Yeah, it's just bad. There's not really any redeeming qualities about this card. You can maybe do, I saw someone, I don't remember who it was, do like a Pikachu EX Ninetales deck where you'd like heal off your Pikachu EX, and you can do different things healing Pikachu EX, but most of them are a lot easier than 3 energy and then losing 3 energy and also losing the tool. So it's really bad. But what card could be worse than this card? It's TM Machine. TM Machine is super bad because it searches for 3 tools that have Technical Machine in their name. You reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. This card only searches for Technical Machine Fluorite, which, by the way, this card also has a trash name. Well, I don't know if it's trash. It's stupid. It's TM Machine. Of course, TM stands for Technical Machine, so it's Technical Machine. Yeah, that's a name certainly, and you don't need a bunch of Techno Machine Florites. Like this card is super bad. It's on a little play, I guess, with some stuff with the older Techno Machines. It still wasn't very good, but it did something, I guess. Ultimately, this card is I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, right? Like it searches for a card that's not good. And you certainly don't need to search for it. If you wanted to play the card, then I guess play the card, but you shouldn't be playing the card. And even if you are, you don't need to like search for it extra. There are other like ways to search for it, I guess. Um, this is just bad. Like it's a card that searches for a card that's bad. So it's just terrible, right? This card is just super bad. Unfortunately, I guess you can thin it or something. I don't know. It's like unplayably bad. Unfortunately, it's funny. I don't know why we got it super. Actually, no. I was to say I don't know why we got it super late. It came out a lot earlier in Japan, because it did. It's a gym promo here. That's just kind of how it works. But this card is super bad. Speaking of gym promos, I do want to give, I guess, an honorable mention or dishonorable mention to the card, which I kind of forgot. I'm not gonna lie. Which I think is here. Nope. I don't think it's here. It's Holding Shovel. Holding a Shovel is not good. You mill 2 or discard 2 from the top of your deck on an item. It's kind of funny with some discard synergy stuff. It's not like the worst card around. It's not good. It's pretty bad, but it's kind of funny. It's also very new. I kind of forgot about it, but this card is bad. I didn't want to mention it in this video, but yeah, there's a lot of bad cards, and these cards I think are bad in a funny way. Tell me if there are any use cases for any of these. So if this is like if any of these are like cards that you love and you play a lot, tell me. I'd be very surprised. But if you just try them out as well, tell me in the comment section. But I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really does help support me in the channel. Also, make sure you hype the video, I guess, if you're watching on mobile, and share it and hit the bell. Also, huge shout out to my YouTube members for supporting me. It really does mean a ton. I do appreciate it. But I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.